Algeria, as you can see, is located in the north of Africa, surrounded by Tunisia, Libya, Niger, Mali, Mauritania, Morocco, Western Sahara, and the Mediterranean Sea. Its capital is Algiers, and the current population is 42 million. Official languages in Algeria are Berber and the modern Standard Arabic. It is made up of many different ethnic groups such as the indigenous Berbers, Romans, Arabs, Turks, different sub-Saharan Africans, and French. There are also other native groups such as the Amazigh, Mozambique, and the Tuaregs. Majority of the country is Islamic with 97.9% of population, and the remaining are either Christian or Jewish. Algeria, in fact, has one of the highest costs of living from the whole of Africa. Furthermore, if we look at it from a safety perspective, Algeria is actually quite a dangerous place, especially around the borders of northern Mali, Niger, Western Sahara, and Mauritania. These areas are highly known for their kidnappings and killings. The French took over Algeria during 1830 and 1847. The colonization of Algeria had marked the cultural and history of people from both France and Algeria even to this very day. France invaded quickly and took control of their coastal communities. The reason why they did this is because the French ruler tried to switch his domestic unpopularity by taking over a country such as Algeria. They had lost excessively to Britain after the commitment in a century ago and believed that by colonizing Algeria, this would change. The French influenced Algeria a lot during the time of colonization. They tried to westernize it, and an example of they did this was by making Algerian women to discard their chadars, which is a piece of clothing that they would wear on their head or as a cloak that covers the whole body. Between 1832 and 1847, Algeria started an independence movement with the leader Emir Abdelkader al-Jazari. However, he was later captured by France. Afterwards, the National Liberation Front gathered many Algerians through a socialist movement in order to help Algeria's independence. They were also backed up by the Algerian War for Independence, which provided military assistance even after its freedom. In the ruthless war for independence between 1954 and 1962, about 400,000 Algerians were killed. There were surely a couple positive effects that Algeria gained from France colonizing it. However, most of these advantages were only temporary. These included improvements in transportation methods, agricultural methods, better industries. The country also gained protection from France and, in general, a better economy of the country. However, there are also obviously many disadvantages, the main ones being a loss of culture in Algeria, and the rebellion also led to millions of deaths as well as shortage of food, and of course diseases. When the French came, they brought many different diseases from Europe, which greatly affected the health of Algerians. After over a century battling against the colonizers, in 1954, Algeria had finally gained independence from France. The people finally came out in March 1962 from the combat that took 7 years and ended in 1.5 million deaths from both parties. It ended in a peace treaty that gave complete authority to Algeria and full withdrawal from France. After Algeria's independence, the new ruler became Ahmed Ben Bella. He was one of the military leaders that helped win independence. However, after the independence came a few complications. Shortly after, Ben Bella was overthrown by Houari Boumediene in 1965, who was in fact one of his former allies. This led the government to become much more socialistic and authoritarian. And while he was in power, this trend would only increase. Boumediene increased oil extractions and made them a large part of the economy, which evidently then made Algeria highly dependent on oil. The government became quite unstable after the decolonization of Algeria. In 1991, Algeria had a civil war which lasted for more than a decade, ending in 2002. This happened due to an Islamic government group that was trying to get into power. Thus, the National Force Group went against them. This ended in a lot of civilian massacres, over 100,000 deaths. Luckily, in 1997, the armed Islamic group ceased fire and Algeria slowly but surely started to become more stable. Thank you for listening.